Hey Aries, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is your first small story reading. Very exciting. So, this offering in particular makes me feel so creative. I don't know what it is about it. But I felt like just, calling in your energy and seeing if there was a book on my shelves that wanted to speak to you. And so I did the thing. This, I'm a theater person, so I've got a lot of plays here, and we've got Marat Sade here. And particularly, just opening to a random passage, being guided in this way. I'm just gonna read you this passage, and yes, it's out of context in the play, but perhaps it will have some meaning that will then guide your reading with the Next World Tarot. So let's see what happens. The passage is, "Woe to the man who is different, who tries to break down all the barriers. Woe to the man who tries to stretch the imagination of man. He shall be mocked, he shall be scourged by the blinkered guardians of morality. You wanted enlightenment and warmth, and so you studied light and heat. You wondered how forces can be controlled, so you studied electricity. You wanted to know what man is for, so you asked yourself, what is this soul, this dump for hollow ideals and mangled morals? You decided that the soul is in the brain, and that it can learn to think. For to you, the soul is a practical thing, a tool for ruling and mastering life. And you came one day to the revolution because you saw the most important vision, that our circumstances must be changed fundamentally. And without these changes, everything we tried to do must fail." Interesting. That last part, Aries, was the part that my finger landed on, the part that seemed the most important to me. This passage of essentially all of our circumstances must change, and until that happens, everything we do must fail. It's a bit beautiful, really. I was also drawn to one of the stage directions that just described one of the characters lying sleeping on her bench. So you can see there's already a bit of a story emerging about, there's this image of a person sleeping on her bench, not just any bench. She's sleeping on her bench. She's in her place. She's like comfortable in her vicinity. And then we've got this passage that says that our circumstances must be changed fundamentally, and without these changes, everything we try to do must fail. Until we make these fundamental changes to our circumstances, everything we keep trying to do is not going to be as fruitful as we think. So there's something coming through there for somebody. Maybe this is resonating with you already. Let's see what the cards have to say. Let's see what they have to add here. So I'm just going to spread them out on the table and choose at random. They've been pre-shuffled, but I know some of you like to see the shuffle, so I'll go ahead and shuffle a little bit on camera here for you. This deck also very specifically wanted to speak to y'all, Aries. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Interesting. Aries. Okay. Here's what we got. This is what the spread looks like overall. Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, flanking the Three of Swords right here in the middle. Let's start with the Three of Swords. the word on the card here is sorrow. I keep hearing alignment. And sometimes threes can mean alignment, you know, like the three, something lining up with the number 3. Something about a triangle, you know, there's all of these elements of the number 3, mind, body, spirit. Something coming through here about alignment. Alignment through heartbreak. Or perhaps alignment on the other side of heartbreak. But the energy of this, especially coupled with the reading from Marat Sade, was really, really talking about things aren't going to kick off until something fundamental changes. So if you're somebody that's in a moment right now, at the time of viewing this small story, if you find yourself in this moment of like, I keep throwing spaghetti against the wall and nothing is sticking, I think there's something here about, it's like you're trying to do these small things without considering the larger infrastructure. You're trying to make small changes without realizing that it's an infrastructure change that needs to switch. It's like trying to put Band-Aids on a broken system. You can't Band-Aid a system that just needs to come down. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here, because it feels like with these 2 9s, you know, 9 is a very solo, independent, and also spiritual number. I'm just gonna hold these up to focus for a bit so you can see. The 9 of Cups says happiness. The 9 of Pentacles says, what is it? Self-sufficiency. So it's like, it's almost like you're torn between these 2 energies. And this particular 9 of Cups, the happiness in this card looks incredibly, it looks wild, right? It's very like lush and sensual and abundant and indulgent, really. Incredibly indulgent, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but what I'm feeling for you in this particular reading, Aries, whoever I'm picking up on and speaking to, is it's like there's something about you wanting to stay on the bench. Like what came through in the passage that I just read. There's something about you wanting to stay here on this bench, like taking a nap, drinking the wine, eating the grapes, covered in juices. Okay, take this how it flies for you, my friend. There's something about wanting to stay in this energy. But this is calling. You know, I'm just gonna like put this in the background for a second. This self-sufficiency seems to be calling to you, seems to be sort of, ideally, I think in your brain, this is what you want. Your body and your heart, and it's like, it feels like these parts are separate parts of you, or at least you're considering them as separate parts, or viewing them that way, wants to stay here in this place on the bench, lying in repose, you know? And then there's this other part of you, your brain, that really wants to be just self-sufficient, like on top of your stuff, able to really support yourself, handle your own stuff. When something breaks, you can fix it yourself. you know, metaphorically speaking and literally speaking. And it seems to me that perhaps what you are avoiding by staying here is this heartbreak type energy. You can even see this person is like eating grapes and enjoying themselves with their backs turned to that. And on the other side of that is the self-sufficiency. So it's almost like the story that is very clearly emerging here. Somebody that I'm picking up on would rather stay very comfortable where they are, indulging in the pleasures of their desires, which are completely legitimate, but perhaps that kind of comfort is allowing you to ignore what needs to be done here, what this other part of you is urging you to do. It's like, if whatever this is could be an end of a relationship, for example, or something, it just feels like it's like something that's going to break your heart to have to do it, whether that's ending a relationship, ending a job, moving house. There's some sort of ending that's being called for here that someone is avoiding. But if you allow this to end, however much it might break your heart to do it, what's on the other side of that is self-sufficiency. And let me also, posit that these two things are not mutually exclusive. It's just that in this moment, in order to come into this energy in a fuller way, you may have to step out of this for a time into this energy. It's almost like step 2, and then here, land in this in a solid, steady way, and then we can start adding this energy back in, if that's making sense. So Aries, if this small story is resonating with you, join me at Vimeo. The link is in the description box below for the extended small story here. You can find it by the same title. All right, so go on to Vimeo, you'll find the Aries small story with the same exact title. That's the extended. You go ahead and one step, easy breezy purchase, and you can view that extended video. All right, if this is resonating with you, I'm going to continue to pull cards from this deck, maybe even add in an oracle card or two for you in this situation. All right, Aries, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. No, but there's some sort of call for you to step up in some way. And it may be that you need to deliver a message in order to really do that. A message that perhaps is going to hurt. Because I felt that over in the other reading that this could potentially be about a breakup. Well, here's the potential energy here if that's how this is resonating for you. Although, this is all very metaphorical. So if you're not dealing with a particular breakup or relationship, this could be separating from a job, whatever this is. Because we have the 2 of Cups here, which it says connection. Connection can mean a lot of things. Here it's shown as 2 people embracing one another in each other's arms, really finding that connection together. They're beautifully linked, beautifully intertwined here.